folks, it's me, Dag, here with Dag Bones. First off, I want to say thank you to everybody who's been loyal to our products. We're going to start creating a series of videos talking about a lot of things. As I'm a raw feeder, there's a lot of important things that I think get diluted on the internet. There's a lot of different versions of it. But through these little few-minute series of videos, we're going to talk about some of the benefits of our products and why we do what we do with our product. Today we're going to talk about our meaty bones, okay? So those of you who buy them already, see these bones, you can see all the meat that we leave on these and some fat. And there's a reason, there's a method and a reason for why we do this. And that reason is this is species appropriate, and the reason of leaving some fat and meat on the bone is called gluconeogenesis. Now that is a process by which the body will go ahead and process glucose properly rather than removing it from the blood sugars or from the bloodstream. That's natural in the wild. When a dog or a coyote or a wolf or a tiger takes down its prey, it gets its glucose naturally from the fats that it's ingesting. The other benefit of eating raw is you're keeping that pancreas activated and creating enzymes that aid in digestion. You'll notice a lot of times that dogs who are on a raw diet poop less, and their poops are generally smaller because the body's processing things naturally. It's like if you went and eat a big greasy hamburger, you want to take a nap, but if you have a nice chicken salad, you feel pretty good and energized, and you probably, your body's processed it, in another 4 hours you'd be hungry. You'll be taking in less calories, and your body's not working overtime to try and process things that it's just not capable of doing. The raw diet, or anything raw, or even getting started on a raw diet, is very important to your animal's health. And in many cases, and we've seen when we foster dogs, that changing a dog's diet can get them off the medications, have a huge reduction in dogs that are have allergies and so on, etc. You want to keep, you don't want the animal to be, its immune system to be deficient because of processed foods it's eating. Now, there's a lot of great raw diets out there, and there's some really great high-end kibbles out there. I'm a big fan of Acana and Origin, and I like Fromm as well. But they're more expensive dog foods, and I understand that. But the benefit of having spending more money on the diet and spending more time being conscious of the diet is a lot less time you're going to spend at the veterinarian. You know, a disturbing trend that the FDA allows when it comes to processing and manufacturing dog food is that your lower end dog food manufacturers will go ahead and buy some of their meat meals and other products that go into manufacturing the dog food from a rendering facility. Now the FDA says that a rendering facility, if the product has to be preserved in any way, shape, or form, that does not have to be disclosed on the bag of dog food. Only what the manufacturer of that dog food, if it's Joe's Dog Food, whatever they put into it, needs to be disclosed on the ingredients, but nothing from the rendering facility. Now, what does that mean? Well, that means that they can preserve products with very harsh and harmful chemicals. Those chemicals wind up in that lower grade dog food and can be detrimental, cause kidney failure, cause pancreatic disease, create allergies. It breaks down the immune system because the body, just like us, is not able to digest those types of things and preservatives and chemicals. And that's a very disturbing trend that's going on. I know the FDA is working hard to change it, but it's been going on for a very, very long time. And big high dollar companies that can afford to put out pretty commercials of dogs prancing through the field generally are not the companies that are providing high-end quality food. With all our products, we use no preservatives, no chemical additives whatsoever. We don't want our dogs to become obese and have their kidneys and pancreas shut down simply because it was an easier form of feeding my dog, or the dog food was cheaper. The more I spend on food, the less money I spend in the vet. I have 3 dogs. All 3 of my dogs are adopted dogs, and they're all perfectly healthy. They all have nice oral health, and one of the reasons that they have good oral health is because we feed raw. Processing is the process of cooking food, of cooking dog food, is kind of interesting because it has to be cooked at such a high temperature. Even the beef and all the vitamins and proteins and minerals that the dog could be taking in a raw diet are gone. So they have to re-add the vitamins and minerals and all those kinds of things to the bagged dog food. So spend more money, buy higher end kibble if you're feeding kibble. And if you want to try raw, start it out a little bit at a time. Chicken and fat, you know, if you have scraps, we actually have a line coming out with beef and chicken scraps that you can add to their meal. Brown rice, carrots, vegetables, anything that any of the raw products out there that have those things associated with them are very, very healthy for the dog. And if you need to add more vitamins, you can always buy a supplement from your local boutique pet store and really kind of dress it up that way from a nutritional standpoint. One other question that we get asked a lot is how long should the bone last? You know, can I put it back in the freezer? Well, keep in mind, this is a fresh raw meat product. So if you do put it back in the freezer, make sure you wash your hands after you've touched it. Put it in a Ziploc bag and bring it back out. Generally what I do is I just leave them out and let the dogs go to them when they want. If you're serving my bigger dog, even my Min Pin will eat Daggles and Super Knuckles, and they'll sit out there for days and weeks, and it's almost the more gross they get to us, the more the dog likes it. The bacteria and things that form on here help aid and keep that pancreas kicking and aid in digestion. Generally, a dog is not going to be caught or catch salmonella simply because their stomachs are lined with it and they're resistant to it because they're on all four legs where salmonella exists, in the soil, in the dirt, in their own feces, and we all know that dogs sometimes have a tendency to eat their own poop. But you're not going to be able to get away from it. Now, dogs who do suffer from salmonella or E. coli disease generally have kidney failure or liver disease or pancreatic failure, and their immune system is so stressed and broken down that it can't fend off those diseases properly. But it's relatively rare that ever happens. So if your dog from the start, even as a puppy, is started out on an appropriate diet, and you're buying a nice raw diet from your local boutique store, keep them on it and let it grow from there. And don't ever be afraid to add to it with some of the things you might be doing. Just stay away from the salts, stay away from the carbohydrates. Dogs do not withdraw energy from carbohydrates like people do. They withdraw their energy from proteins. Well, I'm going to try and make sure that we put these videos up maybe once a week or so. This is our first one, so hopefully they'll get better. But hopefully this is informative, gives you a little idea of what we're trying to accomplish. And you know, we just are really striving to continue to create great treats and products. The next video we'll talk about our treats and products and exactly how they're made and how we process them and hand package them. Thanks a lot, and I'll see you guys out on the streets and in the stores. Have a fantastic week and weekend, and we'll talk to you later.